Hi everybody, it's me Courtney, aka Cuss Baby Tarot, and today is very special to me because this is my very first full-length pick-a-pile reading, and it's on a special day. Today is July the 9th, 2021, and tonight we have a new moon in Cancer. New moons, of course, are great for setting intentions, manifesting things that we want to call into our lives. It's a time for starting anew, whereas, of course, full moon energy is about releasing and completion and finalization. So if you've never done a pick-a-pile before, it's pretty simple. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Now, all you have to do is take a little bit of time and decide which pile you are the most drawn to. It could be the position, it could be the stone, it could be anything. There's no right or wrong way. You can watch all three, or if you are drawn to a very specific one, you can jump to the timestamps below and see which one that you are the most interested in. This is a general reading, so what that means is this is a reading for the collective. These messages, even though there's 3 piles here, you may not resonate with any of it. And with general readings, you take what resonates and what doesn't, you just kind of push it away. Because here's the thing. When you're receiving a reading, especially a tarot or oracle reading, the messages are speaking to your higher self. And your higher self already knows what it needs to know. So tarot readings are basically just bringing your higher self and what you already know to your conscious mind. So when you hear me say something, you'll either hear it and say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Or you'll go, that doesn't make any sense at all, and you can toss it. So it's totally up to you. If you need to pause the video and figure out which pile you are drawn to, go ahead and feel free to do that. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and light an intention candle. White is the candle that I have chosen. White tends to be comparable and compatible with Cancer, that energy of peace and protection and home and family, represented by that white candle. So what I'd like you to do now, since we are in new moon energy and we are talking about manifesting, we are talking about bringing things from the ether into our physical existence, whatever it is that we want, whatever it is that we desire, if we put that intention out there and we really truly believe in our heart of hearts that it is already done, it has already happened, it's ours, then the universe responds to that and we'll figure out a way to get it to you. So don't worry about how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. Just know that it's going to happen if you set the intention, you put it out there, and you believe with everything in you that it's a fact. So go ahead and take a moment to think about what it is that you want to call into your life, and I will light the candle in just a moment. Okay, so you set your intention. Let's take a deep breath. Always feels good to do that regardless. Here we go. Okay, so this is kind of a slow burning, lateral moving flame, but then it goes up. So from that, what we can determine is that the intention that was put into this particular candle will not necessarily happen quickly. There's a very good chance that it may take a little while. Slow and steady wins the race, though. And, with those bigger intentions, sometimes the universe needs a little time to work it out. Sometimes there are things we need to do before we're ready to receive it. So go ahead and put it out there. Don't get frustrated if it doesn't happen immediately. It is magic, but it's not instant gratification, if that makes sense. All right. So let's go ahead and get on with the reading. Hello, Pile 1. You have chosen the Pyrite, aka Fool's Gold. Great for manifesting. Nice and shiny. Love a piece of Fool's Gold. And I'll just put that up here next to the Selenite. Now, one thing that I didn't mention before, you're going to have to disregard my little jankety mason jar lid that I've got over here for this candle because this is all I could find and I needed something. So here we are. I'm telling you, sometimes you got to work with what you got. And the universe appreciates that. The more effort we put in, the more they get back. And also the dollar bill is about, and I'm sure some of you have definitely set the intention that you are trying to bring some finance and some abundance in, some money, some moolah. So that's why that is there, just as a representation of what most people are looking to call in. We could all use more money, right? And remember, money is just energy. Energy is infinite. And you can have as much of it as you want and as much of it as you believe you deserve. So, to get started, just to let you know, I'm doing a 5-card spread, and we're going to take a look at a couple of different areas. We're going to look at your boundaries that you may need to set. We're going to look at some habits and mindsets that are limiting you, your personal focus that you should, things that you should focus on between now and December 18th, which is the last full moon of 2021, area of your life that you should embrace as far as aligning with a new energy. And last would be the added truth that would be revealed from the solar eclipse from June the 10th. So, and a lot happened. It has been, it's been so insane astrologically. Like, can we all just take a breath and appreciate the fact that Mercury retrograde is over and we are moving into calmer energies? But, it's still 2021, so it is what it is. So first we're going to take a look at the overall energy. And for that, we have Embrace Spirit. And we've got this beautiful eagle, majestic eagle up in the heavens. I just get so much strength from this card. It feels very fiery. It feels very, very driven, very focused. And embracing spirit, of course, is always going to be a focus of anybody who is trying to grow spiritually. But this particular deck is the Messenger Oracle. I'm just going to grab the book real quick because I can never do these cards justice. The Raven Falon, she is the author of this particular deck, and she just does a fabulous job of explaining what these cards mean. So we've got the number 8, Embrace Spirit. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see here. Okay. So you are a spiritual being living a physical life. Embrace spirit in your journey and reaffirm your connection with the divine. Fly to the heavens, but remember to look down and see that the divine exists in the magical, natural world beneath you. Spirit dwells within all, in everything you see and know, and everything that you do not see and which is unknown. Both the creative and the destructive, the beautiful and the ugly, are born of the divine. That's beautiful. I love that. So that is the overall energy of this reading. I'm just going to set this up here, and we'll see how that ties in to what we get. So let's start with the tarot. And I did go ahead and shuffle these and get the piles ready simply to save time. I promise you they were shuffled, they were cleansed, they were, I did everything that needed to be done to get the most accurate reading that I can get for you. So let's take a look here. So we've got 10 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands reversed, 8 of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Swords reversed. Okay, pile 1, you've definitely, excuse that glare, sorry about that, let me move that up here. Definitely have some things to work through. A lot a lot going on here. All right, give me just a second to get my bearings. We'll start with number 1, the Ten of Wands. And it doesn't take much to interpret what this card means. As you can see, you've got this person and they are carrying a very heavy load. You've got the symbolism of the stags in the back, which represent the divine masculine. And let me preface this. If I say he or she, I'm referring to divine feminine and divine masculine. I'm not referring to anybody's gender identification. This is an all-inclusive thing, but each and every one of us have feminine and masculine energy that exists within us. So the divine masculine here with the moon and the stars. We've got the red. So the question, or this position, is about where do you need to set healthy boundaries? Well, obviously you are carrying the load. You are saying yes to everything. You are not telling people no. You are not saying, I've got this going on, I just don't have time for that. A lot of people pleasing, a lot of, you've got things that you are carrying that don't necessarily belong to you. I mean, I feel like you do have your own shit that you're dealing with and your own stuff that you're trying to carry. But in reference to boundaries, this card definitely is saying you need to put some things down. You need to start saying no. You need to start making people respect your time and your energy, and start backing away from situations that cause you to focus more on what's happening with other people than what is happening with yourself. And I heard one of my absolute favorite tarot readers. Her name is Chloe Taylor, Chloe with a K, and she's on YouTube. She has a fabulous channel with all kinds of information. I digress. She said in one of her readings that we can't pour from an empty cup, and we can't pour from our full cup. That full cup is for us, and I'm paraphrasing. So when other people ask us for something, we have to be sure that not only are we full, but we are overflowing. Then we can take that overflow and give that energy to people who we feel deserve it, or, you know, that we want to give it to. So, yeah, like I'm even having trouble like breathing right now. It's like really hard to breathe. It's like, come on. You're exhausted and you're carrying everything. So learn to say no. That's the thing. That's the boundary we're going to put up during this new moon, is we are going to set the intention that we love ourselves enough to say no to other people when we need to. Okay. All right. So the second card we've got here, this is the Five of Pentacles. Fives, of course, being change. Pentacles representing physical and material abundance or lack thereof. And the Five of Pentacles is definitely we've got the woman with the child who is obviously in need. We've got the man here that looks as though he wants to help. And you've got all this symbolism of a higher authority, a higher power that will provide. So in this position, we're looking at habits and mindsets that are limiting your growth and your power. You don't think that you deserve it. You don't think that you deserve money. You don't think you deserve success. You think that that stuff's for other people. You have all these limiting beliefs. Oh, it's so funny. I just noticed this. Can you see it there? There's a rat up there in the corner with a nest. And I'm hearing, sometimes you see yourself as that, not necessarily a rodent, but as a person who lives off of the scraps of others, or struggles to make ends meet. And maybe there's even, especially being, we're in cancer season, talking about home and family, you could find, some of you may be in a situation where you are not even living in a real home. You may be in transition, or so what I'm seeing in my mind is like this rat, and it is just, it's scurrying all around, and it's looking for anything that it can find, any little treasure, any little thing. But that to me just represents that scarcity mindset of, oh, I've got to go out and I've got to look in every nook and cranny. I've got to get in every little corner. I've got to, dumpster dive, and I've got to go to this place because they're giving this away, and I got to go to that place because they're giving that away. And look, by all means, if you are a person in need and there is a resource available to you, take advantage of it and do not have any shame about it. Those resources are sent by a higher power to bless you. So don't ever not accept help. But don't let it become your means of survival. Get out of survival mode. Let's get into intention. Let's get into believing the truth, which is there is universal wealth. And all you have to do is believe that you deserve it. So maybe working on, maybe doing some meditation about your limiting beliefs. Maybe I'm hearing some of you should start journaling about why you feel like you are supposed to be without. I'm hearing some of you feel like money is dirty. Like you just, why? I've seen what money does to people. I've dealt with all of that. Like, I'd rather just live a simple life and have, the bare essentials, and that makes me happy. If that truly makes you happy, God bless you. But for most of us, we're here on this earth in this human existence, might as well have some fun, might as well enjoy it. And the easiest way to do that is with money, with cold hard cash, because it is an energy that we exchange to do the things that we want to do. To go where we want to go, to have the freedom to pick up and leave, to buy what we want, to give to others. And I'm sorry, my air conditioner keeps cutting in and out, but it's hot. Okay. So you get the point. So let's work on that between now and the next new moon. So your personal focus, card number 3, would be the 5 of Wands in reverse. So let's look at it upright first. So 5 of Wands, all the conflict, all the pettiness. Now, it can also represent competition, friendly competition. Can also represent just internal fighting with yourself, your mind versus your heart versus your spirit versus that voice in your head versus your parents' opinions, just a lot going on. So this is encouraging you I apologize, not until the next new moon, till the last full moon, which will be on December 18th this year. Focus on resolving these conflicts that don't matter. Focus on letting go of the need to be right, to prove that you're right, to prove that your position is correct. Now, look, I love everybody, but I'm human, and I agree with some people more than I agree with others. And some people say things, and I'm just like, okay, if you say so. There's been a lot of that in the past 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's always been there, but it's been really bad the past 4 or 5 years. You know that. I'm not telling you anything that the entire world isn't experiencing. So what I'm hearing is between now and the end of the year, really focus on not letting those little annoyances get to you. If somebody says something that you don't agree with, or you're scrolling through social media and you get into the comments section, and I had to stop doing that personally because, and if you know me personally and you're on my social media, you've probably seen I used to go all in. Like, I'd get so invested, but then I felt like this. I felt like, oh, I'm fighting all these people, and they're not even, I mean, they're real people, but I mean, it's a simulated kind of experience. I'm not going to change anybody's mind. They're not going to change mine. You know what I mean? It's all based on our own perceptions and experiences and our path. And some of us are aligned more with spirit. We are aligned more with the higher purpose of all of this. And then there are some people, and it's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad. And being enlightened or being, woke or whatever you want to call it isn't inherently a good thing. Just like the opposite of which, less aligned people, they have their opinions and they have their thoughts. And honestly, guys, none of it matters. Listen to your heart, listen to your instincts. Good rule of thumb, do no harm. Take no shit, but do no harm. So definitely want to focus on less conflict in our lives for now until the end of the year, until the full moon in December. Oh, Padawan, you got a lot of work to do. And I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at you, I promise. I'm laughing with you because this year has been something else. This past couple of months, has just been something else. Myself doing a lot of work. So they don't call it work for no reason. It is going to require some effort. However, if you focus on the things that Spirit is leading you to, I promise you it will be worth it. It all works out in the end. And if it hasn't worked out, then it isn't the end. Thank you, Marigold Hotel. Whatever that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You remember that movie with Dev Patel in it? Anyway, okay. See? ADD brain. All right. Fourth position, we've got the area of life that you need to embrace. Come into alignment with new energy. And this was the 8 of Pentacles, but in reverse. So upright, we have a person who is pretty much mastered what it is that their skill, their talent, what it is, their purpose. They know how to create what they were put here to create. They've been working diligently. You can see this person's working into the night. Little mouse friend. That's so cute. I'm sorry. Maybe that means something to somebody, So cute. We've got the spider web up here. Spiders, I know some people were like, ooh, spiders, but let me tell you something. The spider is absolutely magical. They make a web using silk from their booty, and they're elaborate and beautiful, and and if somebody comes along, okay, yeah, I hear that. So when somebody comes along with a broom, and the spider has been working all night on creating this beautiful home, somebody comes along with a broom and they knock it down, what does the spider do? Does the spider throw a tantrum? Does the spider sit around talking about how unfair life is and that person with the broom boo on them? No. They go, well, that's gone. Let's start over. And they do, and they just do the work because they know that, what are they going to do about it? Nothing. learning to accept what we can't change, and instead of sitting in it and dwelling in it and hurting ourselves and wasting time. Whoo, can I get an amen? Wasting time thinking about what could have been and what should have been and how it wasn't fair. And you put in all that work and look at it. Now you have nothing. And you've spent all that time and all that energy when you could have just accepted. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to want it. It does not have to make you feel good. But when you can accept that, you know what, this is what it is, and I have things that I need to accomplish, so I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to, bitch and complain. I'm going to start over. And I'm hearing many of you have done that before. Many of you have had nothing. Somebody did come through and sweep away everything that you'd worked for and everything that you were trying to build. And maybe you did fall into that pattern of woe is me, which brought us back to these energies, and that was in reverse. So, all of these are in reverse. So yeah, anyway, Eight of Pentacles, do the work, get in alignment with your creativity and your purpose and what makes you happy and what you're good at, because when you're doing something that you're good at, you're automatically happy. And that just encourages more creativity and more flow and more energy. And you have to believe that you have something to contribute. This in reverse is not necessarily the opposite of. That energy exists in you already. You're just not accessing it, or your perception of it is skewed. And sometimes it's blocked, depending on your situation. It's unique to each individual. Here, I just feel like it's a lack of belief in yourself. It's a lack of coming into alignment with your purpose. Maybe you think you don't have a purpose. I promise you, we all do. Maybe your purpose is to be the best parent that you can be, or the best sibling you can be, or best child you can be. Maybe it's just about taking care of your little corner of the world. Or maybe you have something even bigger to offer. I mean, not more valuable. Everything that everybody contributes is valuable. But maybe yours is on a larger scale. Maybe you want to create content. Maybe you want to start a new business. Maybe you want to go out on your own. Maybe you are an artist and you want to get your art out into the world, but you don't think you're good enough, or you don't know where the resources are going to come from. The great news is you don't have to worry about that. When we were talking about manifesting earlier, what did I say? You don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. You just have to believe that it is going to happen. And that takes some training. I'm still learning about it myself. But I will tell you this. I had a moment where it clicked a couple of weeks ago. About a month ago, I was getting ready to go on vacation for the weekend. My money got a little mixed around and ended up not really having what I thought I was going to have. And I was going to cancel the trip. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And then something clicked. And I said, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it, because you know what? The universe is going to provide for me. If I'm supposed to go on this trip, I don't have to worry about the money, because the money is going to show up one way or the other. And the very next day I went to work, and I sent an email to one of my bosses, because I got a lot of them, and sent email to the one that handles the payroll. And I said, hey, is there any way I can get an advance? And they were like, no, we don't, company doesn't really do that. But I'm like, what? You've been doing a great job. So we want to increase your salary. And by the way, we want to give you a bonus. And that bonus covered the trip for the weekend. I didn't do anything. I just put it out to the universe. Look, if I'm supposed to go on this trip, you got to help me. You got to make it happen. I don't care how you make it happen. Just make it happen. I was flabbergasted. I was shook. But it taught me a very valuable lesson, which is when I believe it and when I trust the universe, that's when things come to me effortlessly. And I'm going to keep working on it. And the more I learn about it, the more I'll try and share with you guys so that you can learn about it. And, we'll just be some manifesting mofos. All right. Last tarot card. This is the added truth that was revealed from the solar eclipse, which is on June 10th. So, Two of Swords. The Two of Swords energy is all about making a choice, making a decision. Represented here, you've got a blindfold. So sometimes when we have choices to make, it's easier for us to pretend we don't, or to not see all the angles and all of what is to come. I don't know why I said it like that. That literally does not, that's not even how I speak. But that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you are not looking at all the angles of what's to come. That reversed Two of Swords energy, again, not a negative thing. I'm hearing you want to make a decision. Okay. So back on June 10th, when we had that solar eclipse, and eclipse energy, oh, it's so strong. And it doesn't just last that day. It can last for weeks or even months after, depending on where you're at in your journey. But this Two of Swords in reverse, something was revealed last month. Something that you need to make a decision about. And you're avoiding it. You don't want to. Because this is a decision. It's one of those situations where I'm hearing it may be one of those situations that nobody wins. Somebody gets hurt no matter what you do. Or there's really not a win-win here. But I think when you look at it, especially with this Ten of Wands energy, maybe the decision is choose you. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer is forget all of that other stuff. Maybe the decision that you're having trouble with, or some of you are having trouble with, is just deciding that, yes, other people may not benefit from this decision that you have to make, but you will. And for whatever reason, you have a really hard time putting yourself first. You have a really hard time, not all of you, but some of you, most of you, I'm going to say, because pile one is just a very specific energy. You've got to start choosing yourself. It is not selfish to choose yourself. This is your life. You only get this one. Well, this go round. That's a topic for another time. And you are the only one who has to live in your skin. You are the only one who has to think your thoughts and feel your feelings and walk this walk. Why in the world do we as humans not play the main character in our own lives? I'm guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of it. And anybody who knows me personally is like, oh yeah, she's guilty of that. But I'm learning just like everybody else. Because remember, these messages come through me. They are not from me. They are through me. Because I'm still learning just like you are. And that is really the theme here. You really need to embrace spirit. And you see how this eagle just has its head up so high and is focused, and just that great strength that comes from knowing that you are safe and that you are protected and that whatever you need is available to you. But if you're focusing on taking care of everybody else and worrying about, where the next thing's going to come from, or where the next paycheck's going to come from. And that's a very real thing. I'm not saying it's not real. It's scary as hell. But we don't have to give all of our energy to it. We can acknowledge that it's happening, and we can start, asking for solutions and working out plans and, making moves. But at the end of the day, we don't want to focus on it. We don't want to focus on what we're doing for everybody else. We don't want to focus on our lack, or our belief that there's not enough. We don't want to focus on pettiness and winning arguments and not standing up for yourself. I'm hearing. Whew, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just not standing up for yourself. And then thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't, I'm not talented enough. I'm not good enough. Why? Because somebody else might not like it? The energy of this entire reading is about, if you're here and you're watching this and it is resonating with you, why are you afraid of what other people are going to think about it? Why do you care? Whose approval do you need? If you paint a picture of a tree and you're so proud of this tree because this tree means something to you. Maybe it's attached to a memory or a dream or a vision, or just a special tree in your heart. Maybe it was a tree in the park where you grew up as a kid playing. I don't know. And then somebody comes along who's lived in the city their whole life. And this is not to knock city people. It's just an example. I'm sure you have a lot to say about country folk, but just bear with me. So you've got this beautiful picture of this beautiful tree that means so much to you. And then this person who has absolutely no perception of where your inspiration came from, of what this tree means. They come along and they're like, it's a tree. It's just a tree. Tree's a tree. Does that change the significance of that tree to you? Oh, well, this person says it's just a tree, so I guess it's not special anymore. No, that's your tree. That's your picture. You did that. You created that. You brought that to life. You birthed that, whatever it is, a picture or a job or a partner, whatever it is that you're calling to you. What's for you is yours, and you don't need to worry about what other people think about it. Easier said than done. I know. It's really scary for me to do this video. It's very scary for me to put myself out there. And I know that there is no way for me to avoid having some negativity or some kind of backlash. It's just human nature, hurt people. I don't know what to tell you. So get out of this energy, focus on embracing spirit, and focus on your path and your purpose and your growth and what is next. Start healing some of this I'm not enough energy. All right, sorry, I get to go in and I will sit here and talk all daggone day, but we're not going to do that. We're going to get into some oracle cards, and this is the last thing I'm going to do for you, pile one, before I let you go. But I asked, Spirit, what is the advice for pile one to move out of this energy? And we've got nothing is yet set in stone, which is mutable moon. We have... Ooh, I like that one. A fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. And what do you need to release? Waning moon. Yeah, absolutely. So nothing is set in stone. Right. maybe you've tried. Maybe you've tried twice, 3 times, 4 times. Maybe somebody, sorry. I gotta slow down. All right. Nothing is set in stone. Maybe somebody told you a long time ago something that they believed. And because you loved them or respected them or looked up to them, you believed it too. Or maybe somebody made a promise, or maybe you've made promises. Okay, yeah, I'm hearing that. You've made promises. But guess what? Nothing's set in stone. You are a whole ass human being that has the capability of changing their mind and their priorities, and maybe you've committed to some things that you really didn't feel that you should have, because it is going to have a negative effect on you. Nothing is set in stone. You are perfectly capable of ringing that person up and saying, I know that I said that I would do this, and at the time I thought that I could. I no longer can. And you don't have to explain yourself. Well, why can't you? I'm sorry. I cannot. If you want to explain, but you don't have to. Nothing's set in stone. Just because you start down one path, or you start with one action, doesn't mean that you have to keep. I'm hearing, just because you've always been that way doesn't mean you have to keep being that way. Whew. That one hit some of you, because I felt that. Nothing is yet set in stone. Just because you've always been that way doesn't mean you have to stay that way. A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Well, that is encouraging. What I'm hearing is buckle up, buttercup. Because Spirit is saying many of you have started something and then backed off, and then started something and backed off, and started something and backed off. But Spirit is saying it's time to bring that to fruition. It is time for you to release the beast, show everybody what you're made of. I'm hearing that Katy Perry song, Baby, You're a Firework. Come on, show them what you work. You know? A fiery climax approaches. I would get excited about that because, but I am hearing it's not going to happen by itself. Obviously, you have to switch your focus from outward to inward, do what needs to be done there, and then it all works out. It's this beautiful, fiery exhibition of you. That's what I'm hearing. It's just you. Like, whatever you are creating, whatever you're teaching. I'm hearing some of you may want to teach things. Some of you may want to learn new things, create new things, build new things. I'm seeing people on stages with guitars and microphones, and piano players and dancers, and just all this creativity that exists within you, Pile One. It's going to come out if you allow it to. If you embrace Spirit and choose you. Whew. It's exciting. It's exciting. You should get excited because it's going to happen. It's going to be great. All right. Okay, last card. What do you need to release? Waning Moon. That's a beautiful card. You know, you've got this beautiful waning moon right here, but you can still see the whole moon, but only this part is illuminated. So I'm hearing this is what you are showing. This is what you are comfortable with being vulnerable with. That little sliver right there. Part of you, not even half of you. Not even. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So this small little sliver right there, though, that light that comes from it, or the sun's light reflecting off of the moon, that light reflecting onto the snow, onto something fresh, is illuminating everything that it touches. So if you are able to illuminate all of this, all of the things in your life that you are showing up for right now, if you're able to do all of that with this little sliver of yourself shining, folks, imagine what you would be capable of if you stepped into that full energy and captured all that light and reflected it back out into the universe. Whew. Can light up the world. You ever been outside on a big full moon and you walk out and it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night and it looks like twilight, not the movie, the time of day, in the evening, like the sun had just gone down, because the moon is so bright, it can't, the world can't go dark. It can't hide from that light, and it illuminates everything. And think about the moon, symbolically, we're talking about mystery, we're talking about shadows. That's what I'm hearing. So what do you need to release? I think you need to release the idea that, this is all that people want of you. That is, that's enough. That's enough. I'm going to keep the rest of me hidden, and I'm going to keep the rest of me safe because I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want anybody to see my light. And guys, gals, again, I mean, no offense by that. That's just my vernacular, so please forgive me. Okay, yeah. So release the idea that nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Nobody wants to accept what you want to contribute. Nobody's interested in, this could be a message for me. Come on now. Nobody is interested in what I have to say or what I can do or the talents that I'm trying to share. I'll put this little bit out here, but the rest, I can't show them all that I can do. I can't show them the whole thing. And then I'll shine bright, and then everybody will look at me, and everybody will think great things about me and feel connected to me, and that's scary. It's scary, I know. But, you do need to release that. You need to let that go. Okay. Pile 1. I know that was long, and I appreciate you hanging in there with me, and I really hope that this resonated with you. Again, it is a general reading. If you did not feel like you received a message from this pile, by all means, feel free to take a look at one of the other ones or both of them. There's no right or wrong here. Do what feels right to you. If none of them, the readings resonate with you, that's okay too. Maybe you just didn't have a message in this from me. Maybe your message is going to come from something else. But maybe you picked up something. I mean, you had to have picked up something. Even if it wasn't for you, maybe it's somebody in your life that can relate to the message that you received, and maybe will help you understand them a little bit better. I don't know. But that is all I have right now. Go out and enjoy this new moon. Set your intentions and watch the universe work. All right, thanks. Hey, Pile 2, you chose the Malachite. And as you can see, we still have our intention candle burning. That goes to show you how long-winded I was with Pile 1. And it probably will not even be here by the time I get to Pile 3. But that's proof that, when we set an intention candle on fire together, I am going to let that thing burn until it puts itself out. That is how, we energetically, or symbolically, I guess, set that intention and then give it to the universe. So don't lose sight of those intentions that you set. and we are going to get started here with the reading. We're going to start with the overall energy of pile number 2. And I said in the first one, and I'll say it to you too, if I say he or she or male or female, I am not referring to a gender identity. I am an all-inclusive person. I love everybody, and believe that everybody has the right to live their truth and to be respected. But there is divine masculine energy and there is divine feminine energy. And with those energies that exist in all of us, we all have both of them. I may say he or she, guys, gals. Please don't take that to mean anything other than feminine or masculine energy. Okay? All right, so let's get started. And this is from the Messenger Oracle, Raven Pallon. And we've got number 47, Trust in Magic. And we've got 7 and 4, of course, break down to an 11, which is a divine number. And 1 and 1 is 2. So we could have union. We've got the 2 ravens here. Trust in magic is the message. Whoo! Got chills. Like when he said, Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa. Sorry, I don't know why. Okay. Anyway, so 47, Trust in Magic. So that is going to be the overall energy for this reading. I am going to very quickly read from the book what she says, because I always say I cannot do justice to these messenger cards. The author just nailed it when she wrote this, so I'm just going to read it to you here. Magic is the mysterious and coincidental. It is at the heart of those moments of synchronicity and knowing. It is woven into the awareness that there is more to life than what you can see. It is born of that moment when you step without fear and with loving heart into the void, voice your desire, and have great spirit send his messengers to show you the way. Trust in magic. It is real and it surrounds you. Yes. Ooh. This whole world is magical. Like everything. The fact that we exist and we have brains and eyes and bodies, it's all magical. But this, of course, I think trusting in the magic of our existence and the miracle of us is definitely a message. But I feel like this reading may open up into more encouraging you to think outside of the box. And maybe I'm hearing letting go of beliefs that no longer serve you. I'm hearing, ask yourself, do I believe this because it's based on my experience? Or do I believe this because somebody told it to me? Or it's something that I saw? Or it's something that I heard? So anyway, that's kind of the general overall energy feeling that I'm getting from that card. We will see what happens. Okay, so we're going to get into the tarot. We've got 5 cards here. The first one is going to be where you need to set healthy boundaries. Second card is going to be habits and mindsets that are limiting your growth and power. Third is going to be your what you need to focus on, or your personal focus, what it needs to be until December 18th, 2021, because that is the last full moon of this year. And full moons, of course, are about completion. And we want to focus on the end game, the finish line, getting there and having accomplished things. The fourth card is going to be an area of your life where you need to embrace your alignment with a new energy. And the fifth card is going to represent, this is an added truth. So we had a solar eclipse back on June the 10th. and that eclipse energy is still rocking and rolling in some of us and our lives. It's very powerful and it lasts a while. So, with that being said, this card here will reveal something that you need to know, something you need to work with. Okay, so the first one. Where do you need to set healthy boundaries? Ooh, the Tower. Anybody who watches tarot readings or reads tarot themselves, the Tower can freak people out. I mean, obviously, look at it. It's, you've got naked guy who has fallen from this tower that's been struck by lightning. And the Tower does represent abrupt, unexpected change. But the beautiful thing about the destruction of the Tower, ooh, and it goes right along with what I was saying. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, this is about these beliefs that no longer serve you. And in this position, where are your healthy boundaries? I'm hearing, sensing, feeling in my solar plexus. And if you know about chakras, your solar plexus is right there, right below your sternum. It is our confidence. It is our personal power. It is our core of what we want and how we show up, how we represent, how we present. Sorry, not represent, but present to the world. So, as a boundary, bear with me. I'm just listening. Okay, so here's the boundary that I'm hearing. There needs to be a boundary that says, when the shit hits the fan, I will not panic. So this doesn't really feel like a boundary that you need to, set up for other people. This is a boundary you need to set up for yourself that says, when everything feels like it's falling apart and I don't understand why it's happening or what happened, I am not going to allow myself, I'm going to set a boundary for myself that says, I am not going to freak out. I am not going to jump out the window. I'm not going to, and this is so much easier said than done. Remember, these messages come through me, not from me. Tower energy scares the shit out of me, okay? I've had a lot of it here recently, and I have cried a lot of tears, and I have screamed, and I have thrown tantrums, and I have behaved in ways that I can honestly say that I am not proud of. And I've had to make some apologies and really sit back and evaluate my reaction to things that have happened to me, and really enforcing that understanding that everything that's happening is happening for me. The universe is aligning things to happen for me, not to me. Nobody's attacking me. God's not out to get me. The universe doesn't hate me. I don't have bad luck. I'm not cursed. Bad shit happens. We're humans living a human experience. And how do you learn without failure? You can't. You can't. Some of the wisest leaders and authors and personalities that inspire us, most of them have gone to hell and back. And that is why they are able to stand in front of us, the collective, and say, here's what I know, here's what I learned. So set that boundary with yourself that you are not going to let change or surprises or I'm hearing, even if the world is falling down around you, you will not allow yourself to react in the same way that you did before. That is your boundary. You will experience it, and you will feel it, and you will have the emotions, and you will. I'm very sad right now for some reason. I feel like some of you, let me get it together. I feel like some of you, like me, have just really been going through it lately. And the only thing that we can control, we can't control anything. We can control how we react. We can control what we do. We can set a boundary for ourselves that says, I will not let other people's energy or circumstances make its way into my energy field, because I'm going to be responsible for my own energy. I'm going to be responsible for my own reaction. And I am going to look at these challenges and these obstacles as the tools that I need to become the person that I was put on this earth to become. Okay? So the boundary is you're not allowed to kick your own ass. You forgive yourself. You made a mistake. Okay. Who hasn't? Trust me. Those people that you think are perfect, they're not. Everybody messes up. Everybody makes mistakes. That's how we learn. You're also going to set the boundary that you're not going to blame other people. You're not going to blame circumstances. You're not going to blame the universe or God or whatever. You're not going to place blame. You're going to own your shit, and you're going to react to other people's shit from the perspective of your higher self, understanding this is happening for you and not to you. Okay? All right, second card. The habit or mindset that is limiting your growth and power. Okay, we've got the Page of Wands. Wands, of course, fire, action, movement. And the Page, of course, is a student of sorts of how to make things happen. So when we've got this in reverse, reverse cards don't mean the opposite necessarily or the negative. It's all, honestly, it depends on whoever's reading the cards, like how spirit interprets that to them. And how spirit is interpreting this to me is some of you may have a habit of starting things and not finishing them. That's what I'm hearing. That you have these big ideas and these great ideas, very creative, very, very not easily put into the physical world, but once, if you follow through and actually birth what it is that you're starting, that you start. Sorry, bear with me. Okay. If you would put one foot in front of the other and walk it out one step at a time, one goal at a time, one success at a time, one failure at a time, whatever it is, you would grow exponentially. But there's this stagnation here. Well, maybe I don't really know what I'm doing, or I need to learn more. I need to study more. I need to let me practice a little bit more. I'm just, I'm not ready to put it out there. I'm not ready to accept the consequences of this action I'm hearing. Not all of you, but some of you are just like, and again, this also goes back to trusting in magic, trusting in the universe, trusting in the law of attraction and manifesting. And if you don't know anything about all of that, check out Gregg Braden. He is one of my favorites. I love this man's work. He blends science and ancient beliefs and spiritual practices, and puts it all together, and it makes sense. And he can explain to you the divine matrix. That's one of his books. And I don't get anything for mentioning that. I'm just saying, Yeah, I love that guy. He's awesome. And or you know, go with something just as significant, but maybe a little lighter read or experience would be looking at The Secret. You know, it was really popular many years ago and still popular today. Vision boards, what you think, what you feel, you put out into the universe, and that sends a signal, and then the universe hears it, and it gives you exactly what you asked for, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But yeah, so believing and or trust in the magic of the universe, and trust that no matter what happens, don't use that as an excuse not to keep moving forward, keep pursuing that dream, that goal, whatever it is that many of you are trying to accomplish. It's really as simple as, you know, to flip this energy around. It is really as simple as putting one foot in front of the other. And I'm hearing that may actually be significant to some of you. Some of you maybe this year of COVID, instead of being like the couch potato that I have been the past year and a half, you know, maybe some of you really worked on your physicality or your fitness, and maybe one foot in front of the other literally means, you know, run that race, sign up for that 5K, go on that hike, go explore that place, travel. Got oranges here, so you know, maybe there's something in Florida for you that you've been thinking about doing. Here in California. And I don't know why, but this right here really caught my attention. Just this head covering. It's like I'm hearing like a spiritual walk, like a oh, I can't articulate what I'm feeling and sensing. I'm going to just leave that be, because obviously that is spirit's way of saying, you know, maybe that's not something that needs to come out of your mouth, Courtney. Okay, cool. I get that a lot. All right. Third card. Ace of Wands. I love the Ace of Wands. We're going to do something new, or at least we're thinking about doing something new. We've got a plan to do something new. We've got the seeds planted to do something new. What happens if we plant seeds, but we don't water them and we don't feed them and we don't, you know, care for them? Well, you know, nothing happens. So the Ace of Wands is a powerful new beginning, but it's an ace. It's a one. It's just beginning. There are things to do. So in this position of personal focus until December 18th of this year, of 2021, that is the last full moon of 2021. So between now and then, you need to focus on that new idea and putting your energy into cultivating the resources and the support I'm hearing to start walking this out. I'm hearing that some of you were actively pursuing your dream. Some of you were actively pursuing what you really felt was your calling. And I'm hearing through, it's not fault. You didn't see it coming when that was taken away from you. And I feel like it left you in this place where you're hesitant to do anything because you remember so vividly the pain, the depression, the sadness, the stagnation, the disappointment, the heartache that you felt when your dreams came crashing down. And that's probably the sadness that I felt, like I thought I had my shit together. I thought it was really going to happen this time. And then it didn't. And it shocked you. And lightning, it shocked you. And your whole world came tumbling down. And now you've got this habit of doubting whether you can ever start again. And if you did start again and it failed, would you be able to handle it? Yes, because you would be able to go back to the boundary that you're agreeing to set right now that says, no matter what happens, even if it happens 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, if I feel that that's what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm going to trust in the magic of the universe that it will happen. So, between now and December, this isn't about brainstorming, coming up with plans, thinking of ideas. This is about doing. Take the first step. And then take the second step. And then the third step. You guys know how to count. You know how that goes. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. I believe that's, what was that, Emerson? I don't know. I remember it from, Roseanne when her sister Jackie said it, and then the kids were like so impressed. Did you make that up, Jackie? Yeah, sure did. Maybe there's a message in there for you. Sometimes I go off on a little bunny trail. I promise you, somebody listening is going to connect with that and go, yep. Is that what happened here? You set it up. You were ready to go. And then somebody else took credit for it. And it destroyed it. Possibly. Okay. So, area of life to embrace. New energy that you should be trying to get into alignment with. That was very strange. I swore my cat just walked under my desk, but nope. Okay. So the area of life to embrace new alignment and energy. Look at this Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. We love a Knight of Pentacles. Why? Because Knights are about forward motion, about taking action. Pentacles, of course, representing material things. I am having a lot of trouble hearing out of my left ear right now. It's like I saw a cat that wasn't there, and now my ear. What's going on with you guys, Pile 2? Y'all are off the chain. Whew. Okay. Can I have my hearing back, please? Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to pause for a second. Hang on. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm having my left ear. It's like if you, oh, there it goes. We're good to go now. It's like a pressure thing. Some of you having some issues with, I'm hearing open your ears. listen to what Spirit is saying. All right. So Knight of Pentacles. If you're working on getting all of this new thing going, the Knight of Pentacles energy is showing up to reaffirm to you that yes, you can be successful at this thing that you're doing, and you will make money, and you will have, it will provide the things that you need to exist in this world. Here's the thing about Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, although an amazing card, an amazing energy, not very fast. You can see the horse's legs here. It's not like reared up and ready to go. It's not galloping. It's not doing anything. It's just kind of, there. And he's kind of looking off into the distance, not really focused on forward movement. He knows that, he can go anywhere he wants to whenever he decides that he wants to, but he's just not really in a rush. So don't expect anything that you're working on to, come through like that. That's just not how the Knight of Pentacles moves. Especially, you got this bunny energy here. I'm hearing, of course, multiplying like a bunny. Um, so it may not be happening quickly, but when it does happen, I'm hearing, "Ooh, watch out," because it's just going to be, boom, 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 boom. It's like you just finished fulfilling all of those orders, and now you've got, twice as many in the queue. So it's a good problem to have. Just, this is the energy that you need to come into alignment with, is that you believe that whatever you're going to be doing, eventually it will become how you exist and how you operate in the world. Last card here before we do oracles, and then that's it. Look at this candle. Woo, pile 3. We'll have some explaining to do. All right, so number 5. This is an added truth. It's something that was revealed from the solar eclipse on June the 10th. And the Empress. We love the Empress. She's so beautiful. The Empress is the mother of the universe. She's that nurturing, caring, loving energy. I'm hearing that maybe some of you will be receiving some information soon. Congratulations may be in order for those of you that have been trying, if you will. Definitely a symbol of fertility and of procreation. You see in here, she's representing all the zodiacs, all the energies. Everything's a circle. Everything. Look at all the circles. Everything's a circle. Everything is what goes around comes around. What you put out comes back to you. The tarot itself, the major arcana, is like this. It's this overview. It's this arc that we start as one thing and we go through all these things so that by the end of it, we've had our ups and our downs and our ins and our outs. And by the end of it, we know who we are and we know what we want and we know how to get it. And then we complete it, and guess what? And then we start another cycle. So what is the added truth from the eclipse? We've got the number 3 here. Oh. Okay, so with the number 3 and the Empress, I'm hearing that some of you may need to reach out to someone. If you haven't already, some of you already have. Some of you are in connection with this person, and this person is more than likely, this is not more than likely, it isn't. It is not a hard-nosed business person, strategic. This is a person that makes decisions from a higher perspective, looking at what's best for everybody and coming at each situation with that loving, caring, I don't want to, not stereotypical, what is the word I'm looking for? Archetype of spiritual mother. Some of you need to reach out to this person because they're going to help you navigate all of this. Some of you are going to reach out to this, or this person's going to reach out to you because they see that you're struggling. And Spirit is saying, don't reject that. Pile 2, I feel like you guys, a lot of you guys, gals, folks, beautiful people. Sorry, I did it again. Beautiful people. Some of you are so used to just going at it alone. And it's funny because this card here, the overall energy, trust, in magic, and then there's 1 and 2. They're not necessarily meeting eye to eye right now. They're not necessarily trying to, it's more of a, I've got your back and you've got mine. Y'all remember Forrest Gump? Do you remember when they were, when Bubba, when Bubba was like, I'm gonna lean up against your back, you're gonna lean up against mine. That way we ain't gotta sleep with our heads in the mud. Yeah, that kind of energy, that kind of I got your back, you got mine. This Raven seems to be a little older, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just my perception, but that's how I feel. I feel like this is a younger and an older, a wiser, mentor, mentee, protege. Yeah, so definitely don't try and go with this alone. Whatever it is that you're doing, accept the help that the universe sends you. Somebody helping you is not okay, Spirit, you're so funny. Somebody helping you does not mean that you are not capable of doing it on your own. It just means you don't have to. And why would you want to? You know, when we spread the work around, everybody has a lighter load. Um, that's just ego. And I was laughing because every time I give a reading, there's always pieces of it that just hit me like, well, damn, girl, you gonna listen to that too? It's like, meh, maybe. I hope so. I hope it resonates with me enough to stick with me and to encourage me. And I hope it encourages you. Don't go at it alone. Because you do. You've got most of you, not everybody, yet. But if you do desire a partnership or a mentor or somebody to come in and help you kind of navigate all of this, if that's what you really want, the universe will send it to you. But some of you already have it and are just resistant to accepting it because the last time you accepted help from somebody, look what happened. Mm, mm, mm. All right. I've talked your ear off, I know. So I asked, we've got the Moonology cards here just for some guidance. We've got you and your loved ones are safe. New moon and Cancer. Shut the front door. Look at that. New moon in Cancer. That's right here, right now, baby. That is today. That is this. I mean, obviously, readings are timeless. And if you stumble upon this reading and it's not today that I'm recording it and it's not a new moon in Cancer, it's still, the messages can definitely resonate. And I'm hearing, even if you're watching this after this new moon in Cancer, just understand that at the time of this reading, this energy was happening right now. You and your loved ones are safe. You do not have to worry about the repercussions or the ramifications of this tower moment or your lack of movement or, not really doing what you, doesn't matter. Stop worrying. You and your loved ones are safe right now in this moment. Spirit says you have nothing to worry about. Let go of that because that fear that you are responsible for everybody's well-being. So you can't take the chance of pursuing something new because if you pursue something new, then, what's going to happen to the people that I'm responsible for? Spirit says, shh, hush, 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 hush. You and the loved ones are safe. Do what you need to do. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your heart. It is time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Yes, pile 2. Let's start healing from whatever happened. Let's stop talking about it as though it was the thing that destroyed you or the thing that killed you or the thing that you almost didn't survive. Not true. It didn't kill you and it didn't destroy you because you're here. That's it. I mean, you're here. And as long as you're here and you're breathing and you're animated, do whatever you want. But, full moon in Scorpio, Scorpio energy can be very, especially when Scorpio has been deceived or lied to or somehow misled, taken advantage of, any kind of energy like that. Scorpio, that's a sting coming. But not the Scorpio, but I'm just hearing, the bee, the bumblebee, it can only sting once and then it dies defending itself, which is kind of counterintuitive. But I think some of you have done that. I think some of you have, some of you have gotten so pissed off that like you just want to wreck somebody. Like you're so hurt and so angry, and there's just this, this vengeful negativity that's just invaded your spirit and invaded your mind and your heart. And spirit is saying you have got to let that go. What's done is done, can't be undone. Thank you, Stephen King, Insomnia, for that beautiful line that I live by. I cry and I get hurt and I do stupid stuff and I react in a way that is less than high vibrational. But I have learned that what is done and it cannot be undone. Move on. Move on. Okay? And last card. Jeez Louise, this is taking a lot longer. By the time I post this, it's not even going to be the new moon in Cancer anymore. But that's okay. Whatever. We're just here to listen to spirit. It just happens to be on the new moon in Cancer. It was the inspiration, but that does not negate the messages. And again, if you're listening to this at a time that is not new moon in Cancer, doesn't mean anything. The dates that I talk about in the reading doesn't mean anything. The message is what matters. And does it resonate with you? So to start with, we had trust in magic. Now look at this. What's your advice? Surrender to the divine. Full moon. That is full moon energy. That is, you know what? What is going to be is going to be. And what is not going to be is not going to be. And I'm going to accept that anything that is happening for me and not to me. And I will not be resentful. I will surrender to whatever the divine has in store for my life, because I know that I am human and I am flawed and I will make bad choices based on very low vibrational feelings and emotions, and thoughts, invading thoughts and false beliefs. But the divine knows what's best for us. And, of course, the full moon that we talked about earlier was December 18th of 2021. Again, that date doesn't really matter, but at the next full moon, I really feel like something here. Once you get into this energy, then the rest of this, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh God, I'm so lame. I don't care. Having fun, living my best life. All right, that is all that I have for you. I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this, and I really hope it resonates with all general readings. Some of it might resonate, some of it might not. Take what does, leave what doesn't. Sometimes it'll come back, later on it'll make sense. Sometimes it won't. If you didn't like this one, if you didn't resonate with this one, feel free to look at, watch the other two. See if one of those has messages. Maybe they all have messages, little bits and pieces, or maybe you'll hear a message for somebody in your life that can relate to some of what Spirit has been saying. And I'm going to stop talking now, because if I don't, I will never shut up. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Good day. Whatever time you're listening to this. Okay, bye. Hello, pile 3. You have chosen the Goldstone. Ooh, look at it. All that glitters is gold. Not really. It's copper. However, it's a beautiful stone. All right, so I'm going to put that to the side here. I'll just put you right there. And pile 3. Look at this candle. I'm so glad it still has a flame. I was so afraid I was going to get to you guys and it wasn't going to have a flame and I wasn't going to be able to prove, like, look, see, I let the intention candle burn all the way down. I promise. The intentions that you set are there. We're going to fulfill that. We're going to keep it going. All right. Whew. So, we're going to look at 5 different areas of in tarot, where you need to set boundaries, your habits and mindsets that are limiting your growth and power. We're going to look at what you should focus on in your personal life, between now and December the 18th, where that is the last full moon of 2021. And, see here, area of your life that you need to embrace, new alignment, new energy, and then something that's been revealed since the solar eclipse that we had back on June the 10th. And solar eclipse energy is very strong. Any eclipse energy is very strong. It doesn't just come and go in one day. It can last for days, weeks, months. For some people, it can last a whole year. It just depends on where you are in your walk and in your journey and what you've got going on. And yeah, so we'll talk about that. But first, I want to look at the overall energy of your reading. Ooh. I tell you what, it never surprises me, but it always surprises me that when I'm receiving messages from Spirit for other people, that there's almost always something that resonates with me personally. But understand that these messages do not come from me. They come through me, from Spirit. So we will take a look at the meaning and the definition of this card, which is, I've been showing everybody, from the Messenger Oracle Guidebook. Messenger Oracle deck. This is the guidebook. Sorry. Third reading. We're going to get through it. Okay. Number 7. We love the number 7. We love it. But 7 can be a little tricky. Sometimes that energy is all about showing up, and then sometimes that energy is about hiding things. It just depends. But either way, the message is do not fear the unknown. And we're looking at an image, it's kind of creepy. I mean, you've got a human face and hands and body with these antlers coming out, and you've got feathers, and it's almost like reindeer horns. Yeah, I mean, if you saw this walking down the street at you, you'd probably get a little freaked out. But Spirit is saying that the overall theme of this reading is going to be talking about how we deal with our fear of the unknown, of things that we're not quite familiar with, and how we respond and react to that kind of thing. I never do these cards justice, so as I've said in every other pile, I am simply going to read to you what the author put in the book, because she did such an amazing job. I don't want to mess it up. So, card number 7, do not fear the unknown. The ugly is not always bad and evil, and the beautiful not always good and just. Failure is not predetermined, nor is it a given that others laugh at you if you choose to follow your dreams. It is your fear of the unknown that makes you question and judge. Do not let another's experience be the truth that guides you. Do not allow your fear of an unknown outcome to hold you prisoner. Your own experience could be both different and rewarding. Live. Love it. All right. So now we're going to take a look at some tarot to get some more information. I've said it in the other piles. I'm going to say it here. If I say he, she, guys, gals, if I say use a pronoun or some kind of identifier, I am not referring to a gender identification. Everybody is welcome here, and everybody deserves the right to live their life in the way that is right for them, without judgment, and really just everybody mind your business. So I say all that to say this: if I say things like he or she or whatever, I'm referring to the energy. We all have divine feminine and divine masculine energy, no matter how tough you are. You've got some feminine energy in you, and you need to balance that out, because if not, you become, too aggressive or too whatever. And then, feminine, if you don't embrace and balance your masculine, then you're a pushover and people walk all over you because you're not standing up for yourself. You're more worried about what people think and nurturing and all that stuff. So it's all about balance, but we all have both masculine and feminine energies. So if I say he or she, that is all that I am referring to. Please do not read me for filth if I say something that feels uninclusive, because I assure you this is inclusive. Everybody's welcome. I don't care. Everybody, let's party. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to take a look at where you need to set healthy boundaries. A habit or a mindset that is preventing or limiting your growth and your power. This is your personal focus until December 18th, 2021. That is the last full moon. That is the completion of the lunar cycles for our calendar year. Other calendars, not so much, but anyway, we're not getting into that. Courtney, stay focused. All right, fourth card, area of life to embrace new energy, to get into alignment with. And then the fifth card is going to be added truth. This is something that has been revealed since the solar eclipse, like we talked about. So I already said all of this. Jeez Louise. I might have to edit, because at this point I don't know what I've said. I'm just wide open and hearing things and seeing things and feeling things. And it's in pile number 2. Yeah, I lost my hearing in my left ear for a little bit. Okay, that's not your problem. Courtney, shut up and flip the cards. Yes, I will. Okay, so first position. Where do we need to set healthy boundaries? This is the 9 of Cups, and we've got it in reverse. And reverse cards do not necessarily mean negative. They do not necessarily mean opposite. It just means that this energy exists, but it is distorted, blocked. You're not open to it. Something's preventing it. You get the picture. So let's look at it upright first. We got the 9 of Cups, and this is a person who has worked very hard at filling their own cup so that they had enough left over. They could fill other people's cups. And look how happy, look at this face. Look at all of this. Cups, of course, relate to our emotional state, our feelings. And this person's cups are so full that they can actually fill other people's cups. So if we're looking at this in reverse, what are we looking at? We're looking at an energy that gives when they don't have anything left to give, or has extra, but maybe gives it to the wrong people or person. That's what I'm hearing. Now, the position that this is in, sorry, my chair is creaking, so I'm not over here doing lewd things. Not that we don't all do lewd things, but still. So where are healthy boundaries required? This 9 of Cups in reverse is saying, I'm going to set a boundary. We are going to set a boundary. I'm going to set a boundary that if I don't have it to give emotionally, if I don't have the energy to give, I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to keep filling my own cup, and when I have extra, then I can pour into other people. And I think it was pile 1 had a very similar energy for their boundary. And I was telling them about one of my favorite readers, Chloe Taylor, Chloe with a K. She's on YouTube. She's amazing. I dig her so much. And if you like, what I'm doing here, I think you'll really dig her. She's really good at breaking things down and blending spirituality and psychology. And she's just really cool. Check her out. But she said in a reading recently, and I'm paraphrasing, that we don't pour into people from our empty cup, and we don't pour into other people from our full cup. We fill our cup, and then anything that runs over, then if anything's left over, we can put that in a separate cup for others. But the main priority is filling our own cup. So you need to set some boundaries. Some of you need to set some boundaries that say, you know what? I cannot take this phone call right now and listen to you bitch and complain about your job and your relationship and everything that's going on in your life. Some people just have never learned that you can't, it's not, I want to say fair, but it's not nice. It's really inconsiderate to just assume that somebody has time to listen to your crap. I'm guilty of it. I know for a fact I have called up a friend or a family member, you know who you are, shout out, and just, girl, let me tell you what happened, blah, 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 blah. And finally, when I stop to take a breath, you can feel on the other end of the line that person going, uh-huh, uh-huh, oh, wow, damn, that's crazy. So people need to be aware of that with you as well. Is that, and you need to set that boundary that, when somebody tries to dump on you or just expects you to listen to their problems and give them advice and lick their wounds and tell them what to do next, you need to be able to set a boundary that says, I don't have the space for this right now. I've been working all day, or I've got a project going on, or I'm getting ready to leave, or I'm walking out the door, whatever it is okay to say, I don't have time for this right now. I love you and I want to be here for you, but I can't do it right now. I will let you know when I have the emotional availability. Honestly, you don't have to have anything else going on. You could be laying in your bed, watching TV, minding your business, decompressing, relaxing from whatever. Nobody has the right to just show up and impose themselves on you. And we don't have the right to do that to other people either. So, message. I heard it. I'm going to try not to do that no more. All right, card number 2. These are habits or mindsets that are limiting your growth and power. 4 of Swords in reverse. 4 of Swords is actually, this is about resting. This is about taking time to let your brain rest and let those racing thoughts stop. And, you've gotten to this point where the things that you're thinking about and learning about, they're starting to come together, and no longer, I just hear like brainstorming and focus groups and meetings and teleconferences. I don't know where all this is coming from, but maybe it resonates with some of you. It's, time. Typically, it's time to stop that. It's time to say, okay, I've got all of my ideas. I've got all of my plans. I've got everything together. Now let me take a beat and regain my strength. But in reverse, the habit or mindset is that's limiting you is your willful ambivalence to self-care. You don't need to rest. You'll sleep when you're dead. You can do everything. You're everything to everybody. Why stop thinking about it? Why stop brainstorming? Why stop collaborating? Why stop doing? Because you need it. Because you're trying to fill cups and you're empty. You have the potential to have enough to give, but look at this. In reverse, all these cups are upside down, so I guarantee you there's nothing in them. They're empty. Can you take a cup and turn it upside down with some water in it? And is that water going to stay in there? Absolutely not. So the reason that this is happening is because this is happening. And we're going to, this is all going to link back to this. I promise you that. I'm already starting to get a sense of what this is, but I'm going to hold off until we get through all the tarot. 3. Ooh, the Fool. So this is something to focus on. This is your personal focus point until December 18th, 2021, the last full moon of the year. These readings are timeless. If it is not new moon in Cancer, if it is not 2021, if it is not, it's fine. The messages are timeless. The details about when it's taking place, not so much. So, but if you're listening to this before, or anytime in, July 2021, this is kind of what you need to focus on, until the last full moon of the year. The Fool. Now, this particular deck has the Fool as a jester. Now, in a Rider-Waite deck, the classic deck that most people start with, or a lot of people just won't use anything but that because it's one of the originals. It has the Fool stepping out onto a cliff, no fear, no worry, optimistic, ready to take the next step, doesn't matter what happens, just, putting themselves out there to try new things and experience and start another cycle of the next lesson, the next growth, the next whatever. And that's typically the energy of that card. But the way that this one is depicted, I'm hearing, stop taking everything as a joke. Stop trying to make everything entertainment. Focus on, it's okay, and you're encouraged to be lighthearted, not take things so seriously. Maybe for some of you, it's the opposite. Maybe some of you, it's, lighten up. Like, you're always working, never resting, and you just don't have anything left to give. And I don't know about you, but when my cup is empty, I'm grumpy. Or I'm hungry, It doesn't take much sometimes. But the Fool, whether it's you need to lighten up and take the time to rest and fill your cup, or if you need to stop playing around and stop thinking that everything's a joke and, admit to yourself that, yeah, you've kind of gotten yourself into a situation here where everything looks nice and fun and exciting on the outside. But, looking here, I mean, not only does it have the full moon in the back, which I love when Spirit does stuff like that. It's got the full moon in the back, and, the Fool isn't paying attention to the moon. I'm in this reading, this position of this card is saying, pay attention, because that full moon is, that time frame is what we're focusing on. So don't take it as a joke. Maybe some of you have never had a tarot reading. Maybe some of you have never, habit. Maybe some of you have never really dipped your toes into a spiritual path or a spiritual journey, and you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Now in the full, I'm not playing with you, not me. Spirit is not playing with you. This is not a joke. This is something that you really need to pay attention to. And I think it's going to be revealed why very shortly. But some of you are heading down a path that could ultimately lead to issues. I'm not going to speak what issues could come up. I think that's way too unique for everybody's situation, but it's not going to be good. And, burnout, fatigue, stress, all of those can manifest themselves in some really, really scary ways if we let it. So focus on enjoying yourself, but not to the point where it's foolish. Okay? All right. Fourth card, Three of Pentacles in reverse. This is the area of life that you need to embrace, or energy you need to get into alignment with. Yeah, in reverse. So Three of Pentacles in upright. This is a person who has figured out what it is that they want to do. Excuse me. They are really being diligent about bringing their talents and their gifts and presenting them to the world and showing up for themselves and starting. It's not the beginning of something, but it is definitely not, retirement time. This is in the beginning, in the thick of it, when things are really, really starting to come together and pick up. And I'm hearing defining your craft. Okay. So with this in reverse, which is how it came up, you need to embrace the part of yourself that can focus. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that most of you are perfectly capable, legitimate medical conditions aside, legitimate mental health issues aside. Most of you, pile number 3, are just not able to pick something and stick with it and see it through. And it's like this energy of like, oh, I don't have time to go through all of that. I got to get to the point where I do the thing. Been there, done that. I know that feeling. There's a reason I don't have like a college degree, because I'm not going to sit there for 4 years and listen to you lecture me. Show me how to do it, But although that may be instantly gratifying, and although that, works for some things on some levels, like a new computer program or an app or something like that, that would come really easily. But if I wanted to go in and create an entire IT networking infrastructure for a company, I can't do that. I need to go to school for that. I need to learn what the hell each one of these things does and how they all work together and what's the consequences of doing it wrong, Instant gratification is great, but if we care about something and we're passionate about something and it's the thing that we're supposed to do, it's the thing that we're drawn to, it's the thing that we're called to, we have to be willing to get in alignment with that energy. So what does that mean? So the thing that we want is like right here, right? And it's just sitting here and it's doing its thing. But we're over here and we're going like this. Both energy, we're both doing something. But it's not until we start adjusting our energy, because this energy isn't going to change. This is universal energy. That's not changing. So universal energy is over here doing this and we're over here doing this. So what we need to do is slow these fingers down and bring them together, and then they can, come together. That may be like one of the dumbest things I've ever done to try and demonstrate a point, but I hope it was received in the way in which it was intended. You get the point. If what you want to achieve is at vibrating at a 10, you cannot live your life vibrating at a 4. You can't. You're never going to get there. Ooh, I just heard this. Same thing for relationships. If your partner is vibrating at a 3 and you're vibrating at a 7, no matter what you say to each other, it's never going to make sense because you might as well be speaking different languages. Energy is a language. It is a way to communicate. And that's how we communicate with the universe so that we can manifest what we want, is by getting into alignment with that energy and saying, okay, I got you. Now we can do something. Make sense? If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm out of ideas. All right, 5th card. This is something that was revealed since the solar eclipse, June 10th. If you're watching this at another time, excuse me, and the new moon and the eclipse and all that is not applicable, I would encourage you to just think of something that's happened within the past 30 to 45 days that is significant. Page of Cups in reverse. Cups. Okay. Another Cups. Another reversal. Another blocked energy. Another... Okay. So since the eclipse, some of you have had an opportunity to really... really take some time to think about everything that's happened and what you want and all of that. And then you decided, some of you, not all of you, decided that it's too much work. I don't want to do it. That's what I'm hearing. That's what Spirit's saying. And I'm feeling, very like fidgety and like, no, I don't want to do that. No, it's too much, too hard. I don't like it. That kind of energy. It's an emotional immaturity is what it is. And I think that is what is possibly being revealed to many of you. By trying to be everything to everybody and giving when you don't have anything left to give. Always thinking, always rushing. I mean, this is like, and I do not say this with any kind of judgment or sarcasm because, we all have our issues. But this is very attention deficit disorder, kind of stuff. Like, I relate to it. That's all I'll say. It's too hard. The work is too hard. But I think what's been revealed is the good thing about our weaknesses being revealed to us is it gives us an opportunity to actually do something about it. And they don't call it work for no reason. It is work. And it's not fun. You're right. And I don't, nobody wants to do it necessarily. I think that we get to a point that if we desire a more spiritually awakened life, a more connected life, a more universal and less, localized life, then we get to a point where we say, okay, I got to go through it. I can't go around it. I can't go under it. I got to go through it. And we're lucky we have some folks around us that can help support us. But even if we don't have people, humans, around us to see us through these difficult times, we do always have our spirit team. They're not going anywhere. Your guides, your guardians, your gatekeepers, your ancestors, your star seeds, your extraterrestrial beings, if that's something that you're thinking about. Another talk for another day. And then I love you, Spirit. You just always have a way of bringing things back around, even when I don't. Trust the process. That's the message. Trust the process. So we have to do the work. But a lot of times we don't do it because we don't know what it's going to look like afterwards. We can become so attached to our way of existing, our way of presenting. We can become so attached to the things that we judge. We can become so attached to the toxic behaviors that exist within us, because it exists in all of us. There ain't a soul out here that doesn't have some kind of toxicity in them because you're human. Don't try and fight it. Just accept it and learn to work with it. That's what I'm trying to do. And I encourage everybody to do that. Um, it may be the road less traveled, but it is definitely the road with the least resistance. Do not fear the unknown. I mean, that's what it comes back to. Like, again, that energy of maybe this is your first time really putting your toes into some kind of reading like this. And, it's just, and then my attention keeps coming back to this. All that glitters ain't gold, baby. All that glitters ain't gold. That's not gold. Looks like gold. You know what else looks like gold? That looks like gold. Neither of them are. This is fool's gold. Not that those reflections that look like gold on the gold stone are actually copper. Not nearly as valuable as gold, and this one's not worth, much anything. Except it's pretty. It's got some wonderful vibrations for abundance and manifesting and things like that. But they're not gold, and I feel like that's what Spirit's trying to tell you is like this life of ignoring the spiritual part of you. Ultimately could be causing you to miss some opportunities in the physical world because you don't want to grow up and face the fact that, yeah, you're not always the greatest to be around. Yeah, sometimes you don't want to put up with other people's crap. You bury yourself in your work, refusing to rest, partying a little too much, barely focusing on what it is that you're here to do. And then you want to cry about it because you don't want to face what you don't know. This is familiar. This is familiar energy to you. You don't know who, and some of you may fear who you are without all of that. Some of you may have been living this way for so long that you just don't know how to be any different. And you're scared to ask or you're scared to try. I would encourage you, if this is you dipping your toes, I would encourage you just start with sitting with your own thoughts for 60 seconds in silence. Focus on your breathing, see what happens. Do that for a few days, then bump it up to, a minute 30. Get to meditating is what I'm trying to tell you, because that's where your clarity is going to come from. There's some amazing guided meditations on YouTube. Amazon Music had some, Audible. You can find them anywhere. Just Google guided meditation. Find one that you dig. Use the visualization to help change that mindset that you've been stuck in. Okay. Sorry. All right, here we go. Last thing. This is the Moonology Oracle deck, and these are asking Spirit for guidance. We have work through your fears, New Moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. Do not fear the unknown. See a theme? Meditate. Now listen, I did pre-shuffle and I did pre-pick these piles, but I did not read them before I presented them to you. That wouldn't even work for me. It needs to be boom in the moment, that connection. But meditate and contemplate. New Moon in Pisces. Oh, Spirit, won't you do it every time? Don't let pride get in your way. Full Moon in Leo. So we've got these two new moon energies, both, and again, new moons are about manifesting and attracting and in setting intentions. So set the intention today that you will face your fears. You will learn how to work through your fears. You will learn to not even see them with fear anymore, because Scorpio energy came up in the last one too. There's been a theme today. I guess, again, the general readings, they will have themes, and not everything will resonate, but I digress. Meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. Scorpio energy is a very suspicious type of energy I'm hearing. Is for your reading anyway, it's not fear like you're afraid you're gonna lose, I don't know, like not scared, more like I don't know what that is. What is that? Stop watching so many horror movies. Stop freaking yourself out. It's really not that bad most of the time. Meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. Pisces energy, of course, is very, very feeling. Let's get in touch with why you keep moving, why you won't stop and try and fill your cup. Why do you feel the way that you feel? Why is it better for everything to be a party and a joke than it is to actually try and buckle down and make something happen for yourself? And don't let pride get in your way. There's pride all up in here in this energy, and in the reading, in the energy of the cards, there's just been pride after pride after pride saying, again, like, I don't want to, or, this is how I've always been, or what if I don't like it? And full moon in Leo, with as the mother of 2 Leos and the daughter of one, I can tell you right now that Leo energy, depending on, of course, other aspects of their chart, a sun and moon Leo, which my daughter is, presents to the world that they're the shit and you can't tell them anything else. But they're awesome. Oh, love me a good Leo. They're such a good time. Good people, sweethearts. But that pride and that boastfulness and that arrogance, I'm hearing you're going to hurt your own feelings being prideful. Yeah. So, moral of this story, try something different because this isn't working. Okay, that's all that I have. I hope that you enjoyed it. Oh, look, see, it happened a long time ago, and I meant to say something, but I want to say something before I end. Look, attention candle, gone, sent up. So we just want to thank Spirit for this reading, and I want to thank you for sticking with me because it was long-winded and it wasn't very nice sometimes, and I apologize. That's not me. That's coming through me, not from me. If it resonates with you, it's because your higher self, again, already knows the truth, and Spirit is just using me to confirm what you already know. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're like, what the hell does that mean? Or I don't get that. That's fine too. Maybe this reading wasn't for you. Check out another pile. Or, as a general reading, maybe there wasn't a message for you in these, but maybe you heard something that resonates with a friend of yours or a family member or somebody that it might be able to benefit. In either case, I appreciate you. Everybody that's stuck in there. Pile 3, you're awesome. Remember, all that glitters isn't gold. So, chase what matters. Focus on what matters. You'll get there. You can be all right. And the main thing is, don't be afraid. Worst thing that can happen is you try something new. It doesn't work. Try something different. All right. Happy new moon in Cancer. Unless you're watching this another time, in which case, just happy moon. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.